In the last class, we proved that for every regular expression, there exists an n of a with epsilon transitions accepting the same language. And in this lecture, we are going to prove that for every regular language, there exists a regular expression. So, regular expressions for a regular language. So, we need to prove that for every regular language, there exists a regular expression. So, this is the subclaim. Any regular language can be represented by a regular expression. We know that if a language is regular, then there exists an n of a representing that language. So, here we are going to discuss a proof which is a constructive proof. Given an n of a, one can construct a regular expression Ra such that the language of the constructed regular expression is exactly same as the language of the given n of a. That is, for every regular language there exists an n of a, and for every n of a there exists a regular expression. We need to develop the idea to construct this regular expression, and we can try to develop the idea using examples. So, consider this trivial n of a. What is the language? Only one edge, and the language is set A. And if this is the language, we know that the required regular expression is just A. So, if there is only one edge, then we know how to write the regular expression. But in general, there could be any number of transitions, and we need to devise an algorithm. For example, here is a non-trivial n of a. What is the language? It's not so easy to see. An idea is you can first try to hide the intermediate state and passing through the intermediate state. And if you hide this, then only one path is there, just like this. And the language is including C, and the corresponding regular expression is C. In addition to that, if you allow this intermediate state, there is one more path, that is for AB. So, AB is also coming into the language. And for AB, the regular expression is A concatenated with B. So, this is sum of two regular expressions. C is a regular expression representing the strings for which the path is not going through the intermediate state, direct path, that is C, plus the regular expression representing the paths going through the intermediate state. That's what we have. Now look at a more complex example. Here is a more complex example. So what is the set of strings accepted? Here it's difficult to find. So first you hide the intermediate states. Now there is no direct edge. So in that way you are not getting anything. Now try to allow one intermediate state. Now you are getting AB in this language, and the corresponding regular expression is here. And then allow one more intermediate state. Now there are two intermediate states, and the language is difficult to find. So now the question is, which are all the paths which goes from the state S to the state F passing through Q as an intermediate state? For QB, an intermediate state, first you have to reach into Q. How will you reach? By taking AC. So, by AC, I am coming into Q. Now, if you want, you can stay back to Q any number of times by taking this path, that is DC, any number of times. That is initially AC, that is this, followed by DC 0 or more times. And finally, from Q, you can go to F through this path DB. That is AC followed by DC 0 or more times, then finally DB, and that's it. And if you closely observe, you can see that this is exactly the set of strings. And now we need to find a regular expression for this. What's it? AC followed by DC 0 or more times followed by DB, which is this AC followed by DC 0 or more times followed by DB. So if you observe, you can see that this is like AB is the one which is not going through Q, and to the RHS of the plus, it is the one going through Q. What is it? The string which is allowing you to come to Q, that is AC. Then the string which is allowing you to stay back, that is DC, many number of times, 0 or more times, followed by finally DB, and that's it. And here again you can see that you did the same. Without going through P, it is just C, plus going through P. A is allowing you to come to P, and there is no self loop. So staying back is not possible by reading an input, and then finally to F, and that is AB. And if you want to write it in terms of this, you can say that it is epsilon star, because there is no self loop. You can say that without consuming an input, I can stay here for some time, and that is what epsilon star is representing. Okay, if you want it to write it in this way. Okay, now this is the basis for building the algorithm. And now before we discuss the algorithm, we need some notations and definitions. These are going to be dry mathematical equations. Let us try to understand these notations using examples. Here is a simple n of a. Q is not reachable, but that doesn't matter. I just need to introduce a notation. I am introducing a notation which is L subscript QF. Let me call it as LQF. And this is a notation which represents all the strings for which there exists a path from the state Q to the state F. From Q to F, which are all the paths. And the strings are in RHS. So this is representing the set of all strings for which there exists a path from Q to F. And what is set? How many strings are there? Only one string is there, that is CB. And if you had a transition like E going from Q to F, then you can also have comma E. Okay, this is the set of all strings for which there exists a path from Q to the state F, and that is this LQF. And for CB, you know that the regular expression is CB. And now with this, let me formalize this notation. Given an n of a, LPQ is the set of all strings W such that there exists a path from P to Q on W. That's it. All such W. And any set of strings can be defined as a language. That is what I said, it's a language. It is not the language of this n of a, but this is a language. The notation is clear, I think. And we can see another example n of a and few more example sets like this. And here is another example. And what is LSF1? I want to go from S to F1. And the only string is AB, and that's it. And this is the regular expression. Another set is LSF2. I want to go from S to F2, and the only path is AE. AE. Here is the regular expression. Now the interesting question is, can you write the language of this n of a in terms of LSF1 and LSF2? So what is LSF1? That is the set of all paths going from the start state to the first final state, all such strings. This is all the set of strings taking you from the start state to the second final state. So in fact, the language is the union of these two. You can say that the language of A is LSF1 union LSF2. Exactly, that is LSF1 is the set of all strings for which there exists a path from S to F1, and LSF2 means set of all strings for which there exists a path from S to F2. So union of these two. Using regular expression, it's nothing but the sum of these two regular expressions. This is, I'm introducing new notation. R sub LSF1 means the regular expression for LSF1, that is AB, plus R LSF2 means the regular expression for LSF2, that is AE. This is actually AB plus AE. Please try to understand the notation, the regular expression for this set. Okay. And now with this, let me define the language of A like this. This is exactly this. Given an n of A, you can define the language as, for each final state, it is LSF1 union LSF2. For each final state, union of all such final state, LSF. Okay, that's how you define the language. And before the algorithm, we need to get one more notation for representing the intermediate state. Consider an example. And here, if you recall, how we find the regular expression is, first of all you have to hide all the intermediate state, then allow one intermediate state, and after that allow two intermediate states. So we need to get the intermediate states also into the notation. That is what I am trying to do. This means I want to go from the state S to the state F1 by passing through only P as intermediate state, because Q is hidden. So I want to show in the notation which is the set of intermediate states possible. Here it is only P, and that is this notation. That means going from state S to the state F1 by passing through only P as intermediate state, and that is AB. And the regular expression then is AB. And now if you allow P and Q as intermediate state, here you will get both P and Q. Here you will get both P and Q, and these are the set of all strings. You can get AB is there, or AC, then DC any number of times followed by DB, and that's it. And here is the corresponding regular expression. And now you can introduce this notation formally. Given an NFA and a subset of states X in the NFA, what is this notation? LPQX. You want to go from P to the state Q by passing through only the states in X as intermediate states. Here it is PQ, here it is P. So it is the set of all strings W such that there exists a path from the state P to the state Q passing through the states in X. So all the intermediate states must lie in X. That is the notation. And finally, now using this notation, we can try to define the language of this NFA. So here is an NFA. So what is the language? So you want to collect all the path going from the start state to the first to final state. And what can be the intermediate state? It can be any state, because if there is a self loop here, you can take that self loop. In that case, S will also become an intermediate state. And suppose you have a self loop in the final state. Once you reach into it, you can take it any number of times. In that case, the final state can even become an intermediate state. So in fact, you have to consider all the 5 states as intermediate states. And that's the notation. This we have discussed already. So there are 2 such sets. And the language is the union of these 2. And the regular expression is sum of these 2. So if you carefully look at this, actually what is this set? This is the set of all states. So this is actually capital Q. This is again capital Q. So you can rewrite it as LSF1Q, LSF2Q. And language is the union of these 2. That's it. And now with this we can formalize. Given an N of A, what is the language? The language is nothing but for each final state you want to go from start state to the final state by using any state as intermediate state. Not at all difficult if you try to understand it in terms of an example. And now this is enough for devising the algorithm. And before formalizing the algorithm, consider how you can incrementally build the regular expression using an example. Here is a regular grammar represented by an N of A. So how will you inductively or incrementally build the regular expression? First what you do is you hide all the intermediate states. So the only path is C. So in the regular expression you will have C. And then you allow one intermediate state, then plus going through that intermediate state the only path is AB. That is, A is allowing you to come to P. From there no self loop, because this state is not allowed. So you are going to B, going to F through B. And now you allow both. So how will you find the regular expression? This is a complex case. So the idea now is to break it down. 2 states are there as intermediate state. So what you do is you reduce it to a set with only one state like this. So if P is the only intermediate state, you know how to go from S to F1 by using P as intermediate state, that is AB. Now the question is, by using P as an intermediate state, how will you reach into Q? How will you reach? You can say by AD, by using P as an intermediate state, you can reach into Q. Now you can say that by using P as an intermediate state, from Q you can come back to Q by using this loop. This is ED. And that you can do any number of times, that is ED star. Whenever there is a loop, star will come in the regular expression. And finally, from Q, by using P as an intermediate state, you can go to F1 using EB as the path. So this is the final regular expression. And this is how we are going to build the algorithm. And now we can generalize this picture. Remember what we did? We actually want to consider these two as intermediate state. And what we did is, we will take out one state from the intermediate set, and then we will say how we will go from S to Q through this, then from Q to Q through this, and finally from Q to F1 through this set of intermediate state. With this we can generalize this. Suppose you want to go from the state P to the state Q through any of the intermediate states in the set X or the state R. Okay, assume that there are n states in the set X, n intermediate states here, and we want to allow one more, n plus 1 states. Okay, so we want to find this. You want to go from P to Q, that is P to Q, by using any states in X or R as the intermediate state. And that can be defined as, you consider going from P to Q only using states in X as intermediate state. How will you write it? This is the case. Going from P to Q by using only X, R you are not using there. Plus, now you can use R. For that you can go from P to R through X as intermediate state. That is this one. P to R using this as intermediate. Okay, that is this one. Now from R back to R using X as intermediate state is this. This is a loop. And finally from the state R to the state Q using capital X set of states as intermediate state, and that is this case. And if you look at this expression, this is a nice one. What we did is, in the LHS, assuming that there are n states in X, how many intermediate states are there? N plus 1 intermediate states are there. But in the RHS, every case, there are only n intermediate states. And if you apply the same formula for each element here, now you will get an RHS with only n minus 1 intermediate state. And if you continue, you will finally reach into a case where there is no intermediate state for which the regular expression can be directly defined. And that is the idea. And with this, let me give you the algorithm proposed by Kleene, which is known as the Kleene's construction. And what you do is, you start with the regular expression for the language. What is it? For each final state, it is going from start state to the final state by using any of the states as intermediate states. And you want to find the regular expression for that. And to find it, you apply this equation. You break it down one by one until you reach into a case where the intermediate state set is null set. We will work out an example to see exactly how it works. And these are the escape condition or the base cases for the induction. That is, if the intermediate state set is null set, that is phi, that means I want to go from P to Q without going through an intermediate state. When is it possible? When there exists a transition from P to Q on the input symbol A, you can go from P to Q without passing through an intermediate state. In that case, what you are reading is the input symbol A. So set A is in the language, so A is the regular expression. So directly defined. Another case is P and Q are same, that is, you want to go from P to P. That is possible if there exists a self loop for P on A, that is P back to P on A. So A is there, and if P and Q are same states, then you don't have to read any input. If you are in P, you can stay back in P without reading an input. That is, without reading an input also you can do it. So it is A plus epsilon. So these are the base cases. Hope you followed it. Otherwise, please watch it again and try to understand what we are discussing here. And this is the algorithm. And now try to apply this algorithm to generate a regular expression. Here is an example given. An n of a is given. And this is the formula that we want to apply. Exactly this formula. And so the algorithm says you start with this regular expression for going from the start state to final state by using any states as intermediate state. So you can write it like this. Going from start state to final state by using any states, that is both S and Q, S and F as intermediate states. I want to use this formula. For using this formula, the intermediate state set must be written as union of two sets. I am doing it. This is nothing but the union of set S and set F. Now this formula applies. If you apply this formula, you will get this. You just verify it. And what is this formula saying? You want to go from P to Q. You want to go from P to Q. Here I want to go from S to F. S to F. And what is the intermediate state here? It should be R. And in this case, it is F. So the intermediate state is F. And what is this set of state? Here it is X. And in this case, it is only set S. And that is what I am saying. And now what is the formula? You know, going from S to F, passing through only this set, that is S. And that is what I am writing here. S to F only through S. Plus going from S to this state, that is F, going through only S. And that is what I am writing here. Now from F back to F through S. And that is this. Many times. And finally from F to F going through this state, that is set S. And that is this one. So you can observe that exactly what we are doing is applying this formula. And now each element in the RHS can be again simplified or solved using the same formula. Here take the first one, that is this one. And how will you write it? If I want to apply this formula, I want to write it as union of two sets here. If you do it, you will get it as nulls phi union set S. And now this formula applies and I will get this. If you want to cross check it, please see, I want to go from S to F. I want to go from S to F. And what is capital X here? It's null set. And what is the intermediate state here? S. And that's what I'm saying. And now you can check. I want to go from S to F, going through only null set as intermediate set. And that is this. Now from S to S through null set. Now from S back to S through null set. And that is this. And now finally from S to F through phi. And that is what I am writing here. And this is the directly defined case or the base case. And you can write the formula. And why? Because the first one is this. And what is it? I want to go from S to F without going through an intermediate state. And that is by traversing this edge. So the regular expression is B. That is correct. And second is this one I want to go from S back to S. And this is S to S. And what is it? From the algorithm, we know that it is A plus B plus epsilon. A plus B plus epsilon. Because A transition is there, B transition is there. Without a transition also, you can stay back, that is epsilon. But this is same as A plus B. Why? Because A plus B plus epsilon is representing this set, AB. And A plus B is again representing AB. So I can say that A plus B plus epsilon is nothing but A plus B. So this is correct. This is represented by A plus B. And what is next? Next is again this formula star, that is A plus B star. And next is this one. I want to go from S to F on B. And so finally you are getting B. And that is how we solved it. So we solved the equation for this. And the next one is this one. And similarly you can write it as phi union set S. And if you apply this formula, you will get this and you can solve it. You cross check it. I am not doing it for the interest of time. And this can be written as this. Why? Because from F to F, from F back to F only epsilon. And from F back to S, from F back to S, there is nothing. You cannot reach, and so the set of strings which allows you to get back to S is null set, and the corresponding regular expression is phi, which can be simplified as this, because you know that phi is a regular expression representing the null set, and here whatever string you get, if you concatenate null set with any set of strings, the result is null set itself. Please check the semantics of concatenation. And so null set is represented by phi, and all RHS can be represented by phi. And this can be further simplified as epsilon only. Why is it so? Because epsilon is representing this set of strings, set epsilon, and null set is this string set represented by phi. And the union of these two from set theory, we know that it is set epsilon, and which is represented by this regular expression. So we have solved everything in the RHS, so we can substitute the values here. So RSF, SF is what we are going to find, which is equal to, this is the first component, and the value is given here. I am just copying it here. Plus, this is the first component from this concatenation one. What is it? The value is exactly this. Again, this formula. So I am taking it as such. Concatenated with this value, and the value of this is obtained as epsilon. So epsilon star concatenated with the value of this again, that is epsilon. So this is exactly the formula. I am just substituting the value obtained, and this can now be simplified as this. Why? Because epsilon star is epsilon. Just take the definition of star closure. You will see that it's epsilon. Epsilon dot epsilon is epsilon, and epsilon concatenated with something is something. So this is correct. And this formula can be further simplified as this. Why? Because you can see that these are exactly the same regular expression. So R plus R. If R is representing a set A, then it is like A union A, because plus is union. A union A, from set theory we know that it is A. So just R plus R, for any regular expression R plus R, you can say that it is same as R. And so that is the regular expression obtained. And if you check, you can see that this is representing the language. You can, in the language you will have either B, or you will have 0 or more ABs followed by a B, and that is what I am writing it like this. Okay. And if you are writing manually, you will not get this, but this is an equivalent expression. And the correctness of this construction can be proved using induction on the length of the height of the regular expression. And this will be clear to you only if you try for more examples. So for that, I am giving you a practice question as assignment. Apply the Kleen's construction discussed in this lecture to obtain the regular expression from the following DFA. Here is a DFA for odd number of A's. So with this we are finishing this lecture. So in this lecture we proved that for every regular language there exists an N of A, and hence using the Kleen's construction one can obtain a regular expression for every regular language. In the last class we proved that the language represented by a regular expression is a regular language. So we can conclude that the family of languages represented by the class of regular expressions is precisely the set of regular languages.